Shadows in the Smoke is intended for mature audiences and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode description for content warnings and listen with care. Let us return to the British Museum. Nat. Polishing the marble floor in a room of Roman relics, Kamal takes a moment to look around. What items tell a story of the supposed decadence of Rome?
Kamal makes his way past large glass showcases displaying hundreds of rings bearing large gemstones, intricately hammered gold armbands and necklaces, large earrings weighed down with pearls, and more jewelry than has ever been necessary. Until he stops further into the room in front of a mosaic depicting a bacchanalia, food strewn on the floor, wine flowing into every proffered goblet, and expressions of joy and drunkenness across every face. And he finds himself fixated by the contrast between this scene of decadence and mirth and him standing alone in this very quiet room.
Mr. Lloyd and Ms. Thanero, you push your way forward on this moving train, leaving your empty compartment and entering another. This one, not so empty. In front of you are 4 young men dressed in mismatched pieces of medieval armor. They have animal skins draped across their shoulders, and their helmets have been affixed with great horns and antlers. They are carrying spears and swords and other relics of medieval weaponry. If it isn't just the creature we wanted to see tonight, couldn't stay away, could you? It's almost like we bid you come, and you answered like a good little beast.
If he has told you what I am, then you know what danger you are in now.
Ina has never heard this before and just ever so slightly cuts him a look and then just stares straight ahead and continues to assess these 4. She just stands there after looking at him, composed. She's already got her spear out and her shield is resting on her thigh, but ready.
Stand down, and I will let you live.
I don't know about that. Professor Somerset said that we couldn't kill you, no, but we can have our fun. And this young man motions to Miss Thanero next to you. And Somerset never said anything about her.
Ina starts to just idly twist this spear between her fingers, playing with it, and she gets a very wicked smile on her face at what they are insinuating.
The faceless mask that Rabbit is wearing turns slightly towards Miss Thanero. They made their bed. Let's make them lie in it.
My pleasure.
This feels like a night move for Miss Thanero.
Oh yeah, I figured it was going to happen to me.
I think the story that I want to see here is Miss Thanero fighting these members of the Wild Hunt and then Mr. Lloyd using that as a way to get further onto this train.
I'm in agreement.
Miss Thanero, this is going to be a night move with vitality. What are you afraid will happen if things go wrong?
Ultimately, I'm afraid that I will be subdued somehow and they will get a hold of Rabbit and drain him of whatever powers he has. That's what will happen, because I won't be able to protect him or help him, and he's on death's door.
Miss Thanero, it's worse than that.
Great.
The gentlemen of the Wild Hunt are thieves of magic. They will subdue you and not only drain Rabbit of his magic, they will drain you of your immortality.
Not good.
Would you like advantage on that roll?
Oh, hell yeah, I would.
Okay, then as things are just starting to go down, Rabbit reaches into his witch's cabinet, his little carpet bag, and crushes the charcoal sticks within into a powder and throws a cloud of charcoal at these men's faces.
Robert, I like this. I think ordinarily personal quarters items are supposed to be used for your hunter specifically. However, you are allowed to pass personal quarters items as long as they're unmarked back and forth between each other. So I think the spirit of that, I'll allow it. You can go ahead and take it with advantage.
All right, here we go. Ooh! Okay, so I got a 6 and a 5 on the dice for 11, plus my 1 of vitality, which is a 12.
Cass, could you hit me with the montage of you dispatching these members of the Wild Hunt? Not only this train car full of them, but perhaps the next one as well.
I would love to. Ina looks at these 4 men who are currently wiping this charcoal powder from their eyes. She takes Aegis and flings it in a giant arc, and it goes through 2 of these men, cutting them completely in half, and we just see them topple backwards in a pile of viscera and blood. She throws her spear into the ground, walks over to one of these men, specifically the one that had the antlers on his helmet, and snaps them off the helmet into her 2 hands like dual blades, and proceeds to gouge the eyes out of one of these men. He is screaming, blood is dripping down his face, and then she takes the next one and shoves it into his center and twists, and he is just a deer fallen before her. For the last one, she has no weapons except her own 2 hands. She simply walks up to this man, gets nose to nose with him, and strangles him until there is no air left in his body. Picks up her spear, grabs Aegis, looks back over her shoulder, gives a little head nod to Rabbit, and moves on to the next train and leaves a path of devastation in her wake and an open path for Rabbit to travel.
On a roll that good, please add a set of antlers to your personal quarters.
Oh, heck yeah, give me. It's like going with my collection of blades.
Mr. Lloyd, while this is going on, what are you doing?
He is just marching doggedly forward, occasionally dodging an antler flying off or Aegis circling around him, onward farther and farther into the train towards Somerset, towards the ritual.
Miss Douglas, in the waters, you have chosen to invoke the help of a relative. Who do we see swimming up to you?
We see my older sister, Lorna. She is also a harbor seal, just like me. In the water, seals are not that different from each other, but she's distinctly not as marked by magical scars as I am.
Yes, indeed. Your older sister, Lorna, swims up. Well, now it's been some time since I've seen you.
What on earth are you doing down here?
I had heard that the Thames were a lot cleaner than they usually are. Something about all the rain that's been happening in London.
Yeah, there's been some weird storm things happening. We think it has something to do with the vampire. So.
Well, now, where have you been keeping yourself? We've all been missing you.
Yeah, no, I've been staying in London, in this house with some folks, doing some investigative work, sort of a crime detective sort of thing. So.
Oh, Miss Fancy, going to the city. Doesn't have time for her family.
Well, it's not that I don't have time. Sort of a lot of things happened, and my pelt is kind of broken, and I can't really stay in the seal form for very long, so I can't really go back just yet.
Lorna swims around you and is starting to inspect your imperfect seal form.
She notices that there are what seem to be like large gashes where the seal pelt isn't fully like melding back together.
Lorna leans close and touches one of these gashes with her fin.
Maisie flinches at that because it is painful.
What happened?
A bad man. Bad man ripped it.
Well, no wonder we haven't seen you. Out like this, I don't know if you could make the way back to us.
Definitely not. It's too far. But I want to. I know that I want to.
It's a good thing your much older and much cleverer big sister is here to help you.
All right. There's no need for that now. I am working on fixing it.
Oh, I don't know. You're so busy solving all your crimes in London.
Well, there has to be something I do while I feel the time.
Here, let me see what I can do. Tell me how Lorna fixes a piece of your pelt.
Lorna and I, as creatures of the sea, have a general awareness of where other animals find themselves, and we find a pod of whales. And she swims up to one of them and starts scraping barnacles off of it that have planted themselves on its skin. And she brings these barnacles still alive back to me and plants them in my fur so that they hold it together and mend one part of the pelt.
Miss Douglas, please check another box in Severed from the Sea. Mr. Hutchinson, emerging out of the darkness is this slight, slim young man. Looks to be about Maisie's age. He's dressed in ragged clothes. He's barefoot, and he is wearing a fur pelt about his shoulders. Slowly, tentatively, he creeps towards the can of marmalade, inspects it, sniffs it, and then reaches a hand in. And as he pulls it back, we hear the tearing of flesh, and Patrick Figg starts to scream this strained, animalistic squeal.
As he inspected the can, Hutchinson was crouched in a nearby bush, and his shoulders rolled like a jungle cat. But as the scream starts and the chain begins to writhe as his hand is caught in the trap, the predator springs into action. And it is not a kill, no jaws clasp among the throat, for there is still something of the human mind in Hutchinson, and humans are separated from other beasts in their use of tools. And he hefts an anchor that the chain is attached to and lobs it into the Thames, where it sinks to the bottom, dragging Patrick with it to be weighed down among the pearls.
Mr. Hutchinson, as you do this, your heightened senses pick up the soft click of a rifle. And when you turn, you see Tatiana Brathwaite brandishing a weapon in your direction.
I narrow my eyes at her. My hand strays near the handle of my revolver.
You've grown quite careless. Such a public kill.
It was careless. You wouldn't be careless like that, would you? My method made a lot less noise than that elephant gun.
Above all of this thunder, I think I'll be fine.
I draw my gun and point it at her. You think you're quick as lightning?
You know, Mama had some sort of plans for you, but I think you'd look beautiful, mounted and stuffed in my trophy room.
Tatiana, I look beautiful fucking anywhere.
This feels like a night move to me. I'm trying to think of what skill it's with. There's a case for vitality, but I feel like there's also a case for composure since we are in this kind of quick draw element.
It feels like composure.
Yeah. Let's do a night move with composure. What are you afraid will happen if things go wrong?
It's the obvious. I'm afraid that she will get the draw on me, kill me, stuff me, and mount me in her trophy room.
Mr. Hutchinson, it's worse than that.
What?
Much in the tradition of Tatiana Brathwaite's mother, Hargrave House will start to receive a series of gifts. Your body parts, delivered day after day to the front door of Hargrave House. All except your head. She is mounting that on her wall.
Well, I'm assuming this is a disadvantage because I'm most beloved.
I think so, but it is with advantage because you're using your Colt revolver, so flat roll.
Composure's +0, so it really is flat roll.
Yeah, although you do have the special ability of the Colt revolver. You can re-roll.
Oh yeah, one of the lower dice. Right. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. I'm not even going to need it because we're just going to get boxcars right now. Ready, set? Shit. Okay, to be fair, one of these is a 6. The other is a 1. That's 7. Well, I can mark it.
Do you want to?
Yep, I'm going to re-roll the 1. I'm not going to let you have a wound if I can get away with it.
That's fair. All right, go ahead and read the feature of Fastest Gun in the West that lets you do this.
When you take this move, add the 1851 Colt Navy revolver to your personal quarters. This item is never marked when using it to take advantage on a die roll. After a roll, you can choose to mark it in order to re-roll one die of your choice. I got a 6 and a 1. I'm re-rolling the 1.
It's only up from here.
Unless it's another one.
That's another 1.
No!
It's fate.
Let's return to the British Museum. Robert. In the Egyptian hall, Kamal is surrounded by the works of his ancient ancestors, some of them pulled from the sands by his own hands. What here demonstrates inevitable, looming death.
There are many remarkable pieces in the British Museum's Egyptian collection, but one of the centerpieces is an enormous stone head pulled out of the sands of Egypt, and you can actually still see a line across it where half of it was sun-baked for thousands of years and the other half buried in the sand. By the crown and regalia on the head, the scholars have denoted that this is clearly a pharaoh or a god of some sort, someone of great power and importance. But unfortunately, with nothing else to go off of, the man's name has been forgotten, just as Kamal's name will someday be forgotten, just as all of our names will someday be forgotten.
Mr. Hutchinson. The sky is briefly illuminated by a bolt of lightning as Tatiana Brathwaite pulls on the trigger and shoots the 1851 Colt Navy revolver out of your hands. I thought about going for one of your eyes, but at this point that just seems unfair.
Yeah, my mother always warned me I'd shoot my eye out playing with one of these things. Wish hers had done the same.
She strolls up to you, tucks the rifle back onto her shoulder. She looks at the Colt revolver on the ground, kicks it a bit with one of her riding boots. It's a beautiful piece. Shame it's in the hands of such a classless animal.
I may not have any class, but you've proven that money can't buy taste. And I lick my lips.
It seems as though you had quite the privileged upbringing. She reaches a hand into your pocket and pulls out the gold sundial. I think I'll be keeping this. It'll tide me over before the real hunt begins. Farewell, Mr. Hutchinson. We'll be seeing each other shortly. I hope you're a better shot then.
I won't need arms when next I see you. And be sure I'll be reuniting that with its proper owner.
She smirks, tousles your hair, and walks away.
Fucking rich kid. I watch her go, and once I'm sure she's gone, I swan dive into the Dems to retrieve my catch.
Miss Douglas, as Lorna fixes her repair of your pelt, she swims back a couple meters and admires her work. It's not bad, if I do say so myself. You can hardly tell at this distance.
You're right, it's not bad. Thank you.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. You look beautiful.
I know.
I've never seen a silver seal before.
Well, okay, thank you. I appreciate you saying that to me. You are also very beautiful. I love you.
I know. I love you too.
I saw Mom.
No, you didn't.
I did. I spoke to her spirit.
And how'd you go and do a thing like that?
My friend Rabbit, he teaches me magic, and I did this thing where I killed a fish and I summoned her from the dead.
You're friends with a rabbit.
No, his name is Rabbit because he... Well, actually, I don't really know why he's called that because he's not very fast, but he's very small. But anyway, he is a. Well, again, I don't know if he's a human man. He looks like a human man, but I sometimes look like a human girl. So, he's a guy.
You've made some weird friends in London.
There's really only strange people here, but they're all generally nice when they're not trying to kill me.
Maisie Douglas, you are a marvel, and we miss you very much.
I miss you all very much, too. I am working as best I can to fix my pelt so I can come home.
So how is Mom?
She is good. It's weird. She's not bad. She misses us, of course.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you think you could talk to her when I'm around?
I could certainly try. I don't know that I could do it right now, but...
That's all right, but maybe later?
I mean, when I come home, you know for certain that I will do it.
All right. Well, then you better get home soon.
I will. I promise.
She swims up to you and kind of boops your nose with her nose.
I boop her back. I boop her back.
Well, I'll tell everyone that you're doing fine, making a big name for yourself in London.
Oh, I don't know about that. I had to quit the ballet, so I'm probably not going to be famous anytime soon.
Well, you were at the ballet!
Yeah, I was! And then someone tried to kill me, so I left.
People are trying to kill you a lot.
It has been a pattern. But again, it's partly because of, I'm involved in all of this work, so it sort of comes with the territory. But I have people who have my back.
That's good. If you can't be with your family, at least you found one in London.
I have. And they're good people. People's not the right word, but,
Sort of people.
Half people?
Rabbits looking like people.
Exactly.
Well, it's getting late. It's a long swim back home.
Yeah.
Are you going to be all right?
Yeah, I'm going to be all right. I've always been good at figuring things out and you always come along and help when I need it, but I can manage on my own.
Are you better worry about my baby sister?
Don't call me a baby! I'm 17!
That's a baby!
I'm practically an adult! What are you talking about?
I love you.
I love you too.
And I will see you soon. Yeah?
Yeah.
And Lorna swims away. Miss Thanero.
Yes.
Mr. Lloyd has pushed past you deeper into this train, but you hear the thunder of hoofbeats as members of the Wild Hunt on horseback have pulled up to either side of your train compartment.
Ina looks out the windows on either side, counting how many horses she sees, noting all of the armor and horns and accoutrement that they've adorned themselves in, and looks to the head of the car to find a door to get outside and hopefully find a ladder to get up on the roof of this moving train car.
I have to let you find one because the idea of this scene is too good.
She steps out of the door between the cars. The wind is whipping through her hair. She finds a ladder and, tossing Aegis onto her back and still holding this spear in her hand, she climbs this ladder and is now on the roof of this train car looking down at all of these men on horseback. And she spots one that's a little too close to the train, hurls the spear at it, but at the last second, with a flick of her wrist, flicks the spear back into a rope so it spears this man, and she yanks him off the horse from the roof of this train, and then proceeds to wreak havoc on these men, either throwing Aegis in another one of these beautiful, sweeping arcs to knock these men off the horses. I think at one point, one gets close enough that she's able to jump down onto the horse behind the rider, cracks his neck. She's in an equestrian vaulting position, riding this horse next to the train, fully stood up, grabs a hold of the roof and throws herself back on top of it, and just continues buying Rabbit the time he needs to do what he needs to do. She's in her element. She is at war. She's cool. She's calm. She's collected. And I think she's having a little bit of fun killing all these guys.
It's been a minute since we've seen you so warlike, embracing this aspect of Athena. How is it making you feel?
She has spent so much time connecting with the more mortal aspects of being in the human realm. And I think in this moment, she's very connected to her godhood and all of the things that she is capable of, all of the skills that she has spent millennia honing, all of that knowledge, the tactician in her is awake. And I think she feels like she did as a new god, as someone who is discovering what all of this power is that she can harness and use.
Miss Thanero, take the condition, a new goddess.
I like that.
So, this is something that can crop up occasionally in Carve from Brindlewood games. This is a positive condition. So this still occupies a spot on your condition track and still can be cleared via the use of the vulnerable move, but it can also be cleared at any time to give yourself advantage on a roll. Mr. Lloyd.
Morgan opens one final door as he enters a very different train car than all the others. The walls of this one are inlaid with an intricate pattern made of wrought iron that looks something between Nordic runes and a circuit board. There are tiny silver bells dangling from the ceiling and several other places that ring constantly as the train jostles forward. There are jars of various powdered substances scattered out, put on shelves, each one sealed with a red ribbon. And in the center of the room is a table with a cushion. And sitting on that cushion is a spearhead. It's actually one that Rabbit has seen before, although we of the audience have not. It is not quite as ancient looking as the one that Miss Thanero wields, but not by much. It looks to be maybe Roman, made of brass, carved with an intricate pattern, and with the crossbar that denotes that this is a hunting tool and not a weapon of war. But the weirdest thing that Rabbit notices as he enters this final room is the absolute absence of magic in this space, as though all of the eldritch energy is being funneled directly into this spear. And standing over it, also wearing a horned helm, but over his armor, a red robe with amber beads and little gold medallions all over it, is Professor Malcolm Somerset. Hello, long time no see. And Morgan takes the mask off.
Morgan, you have no power here.
No, I can see. I can feel it. Felt something like it recently, too. I have to say, from one craftsman to another, it's impressive work. But I do have power. You know, you taught me something a while ago. Magic power isn't the only power that exists in this world. Morgan starts rifling through his carpet bag, pulls out the deck of tarot cards. Hold on a moment, I just want to try something. It's been a while since I could do this properly. He shuffles the deck, pulls a card facing Professor Somerset. It's the Magician. Well, now look at that. It's been a while since I've drawn anything but the High Priestess. Draws another off the top facing himself. The Fool. Seems about right. And a third one, and he throws it on top of the spear. The Tower. Well, that's a fun one, innit? As I was saying, power. And in this instance, the power that I hold is I know 3 things that you don't.
And what's that?
Number 1, in all of your research and preparations, you never learn my real name. Oh, you got the titles. You got all the little things that Her Majesty called me. And that's doing you quite a bit of good right now, drawing all of that energy into there. But for real control, you need the true name, and you never learnt that. Number 2, I'm not a fairy. Haven't been for a couple of years now, since the last time we saw each other actually. All the magic that I had was borrowed and loaned out anyway, so not really mine. I miss it, don't get me wrong. But, you know, with it all gone, there is still me at the core. The third thing that I know that you don't has to do with the people who gave me my name. The woman who raised me, who taught me magic, who gave me this. He lifts up the carpet bag, clearly straining as he is dying of fever as this is all going on. She taught me that ritual is the important part, not magic. There is ritual in everyday things. Ritual in healing the sick. Ritual in saying your grace before dinner. Now, the person that gave me my name was my father. He was killed in Wales before I was born, standing up to men like you. Standing up to men who grab and take and never think twice about those that they are killing as they trample over their graves. And those 2 people, well, I learned a very important lesson from the 2 of them. And Morgan reaches into the carpet bag, and as he does so, I'm going to name the second to last item in my witch's cupboard, as Morgan pulls out a small Philadelphia Derringer and points it directly at Professor Malcolm Somerset.
Careful, boy. Weak as you are, can barely...
And before he can finish that sentence, Morgan pulls the trigger.
Make the night move. I feel like this is also with composure.
That seems right.
I'm going to put this at disadvantage because you are on death's door, but I assume you are invoking the Derringer from your witch's cupboard.
I am.
So this is a flat roll. What are you afraid will happen if you fail?
Well, this is kind of a last gambit. If Morgan doesn't kill Professor Somerset, the ritual will complete itself, draining not only the mystical fey essence of Morgan, but also the last of his humanity, leaving an empty husk on the floor of this train and the spearhead for Professor Somerset to finish the ritual proper.
Mr. Lloyd, it's worse than that. Not only your magic will be drained, but those of your friends. Miss Douglas's ability to turn into a seal, Miss Thanero's extraordinarily long life and abilities, Mr. Hutchinson's curse. That one doesn't seem that bad.
Honestly, actually, I'm okay with this.
But also the magic from all of these supernatural creatures in London. Merlin near Cremorne Gardens, Mistress Beaumont, the man in the sun mask wherever he is, Rebecca Solomon. Everyone will be robbed of their magic tonight. Night move, composure, flat roll. As flat as it gets, you've got a 0.
I do. Luck was with me. That is a 5 and a 6. Not quite a perfect roll, but close enough for tonight.
Our final trip to the British Museum. T. Kamal pauses in the doorway as he sees 2 young scholars meeting beneath the statue of Ganymede, one of them nervously clutching a pamphlet of Uranian poetry. As he watches, how do they awkwardly, wordlessly negotiate their assignation?
Kamal is making his rounds and hesitates in the doorway. He's familiar with this hall and its goings-on. While he never partakes, it is something of an anthropological interest. He sees 2 young men, one reed-thin, clearly inexperienced in all ways of the world, bespectacled, mussy-haired, and underslept, and another, slightly older, 5 o'clock shadow gracing his cheeks and chin. The 2 of them linger in the gallery for a moment, eyeing without reading the various plaques among artifacts, until they both find themselves underneath the statue, its cup held aloft toward the heavens. The bespectacled boy nervously rings his pamphlet of poetry, smearing the name William Corey, and goes to withdraw from it, without taking his eyes off the statue, a single card. He goes to place it on the pedestal of the statue, but nervously drops it and chases it as it flutters to the ground. He places it on the pedestal as he was instructed to do, and busies himself memorizing the number of tiles on the ceiling. The older boy takes his own card and slides it underneath the first, indicating how he would like things to go, then exits the nearby bathroom, and the young boy follows. Kamal smiles to himself and continues his walk through the museum.
Miss Douglas, as you bid your sister farewell and make your way back to the shores of the Thames, describe your transformation to your human form.
Maisie is reluctant to get out of the water. Meeting with her sister has made her very homesick, and it's difficult to part with the one thing that is still connecting her to her family. But as it has before, and will continue to do until she fixes it, the places where the pelt has been ripped and not fixed start to split open, and she feels her skin rupturing and knows that it is the pelt telling her that her time is up and she has to get out. And she swims to the shore and drags herself out as the pelt peels itself off of her, as if it can no longer bear to be attached. And she climbs up on the shore and collects the pelt in her arms and sits there for a moment, just staring at the water, and then goes and collects her clothes where she left them on the shore and makes her way back to Hargrave.
As you redress, you notice something unfamiliar in the pocket of your tartan skirt. And when you pull it out, it is a necklace, a pendant. This center stone is cinnabar, this white and red stone. However, as you inspect it, you notice that the clasp of this pendant is broken. That is a clue for the Waitley camera. Speaking of the waters, Mr. Hutchinson, what are you doing here?
Hutchinson dives down, finds the now still, breathless corpse of Patrick Figg, and with little effort, wrenches the remains of his wrist from the body, leaving the hand below as an offering to the Thames. He swims up with the cadaver, and then on the shore, piggybacks him over his shoulder, and walks brazenly through the streets back to Hargrave House. Once inside, he proceeds to the larder. He goes down the cold flagstone steps, strips the body, and with some twine, trusses it up like a suckling pig, replete with a red ripe apple in his mouth. He sets it before the place where Mock has appeared, takes out a knife and fork, sits cross-legged on the floor, and begins to carve into him. As he places the first morsel of flesh into his mouth, he says, "A sacrifice in your name," and takes a bite.
Mr. Hutchinson, please remove the condition abandoned by God. Please take the condition, the chosen of Mock. Mr. Lloyd, on that good of a roll, tell me what happens here.
Somerset collapses to the ground, his face frozen forever in a grimace of shock, as though he cannot believe what happened. Morgan goes up to the body, roots around in the robe for a little bit, pulls something off, sticks it in a pocket, goes over to the spearhead, and using the butt of the very small pistol, smashes the spear in two, breaking this antique and breaking the spell that was consuming the Fey magic. His job done, he grabs the broken pieces of the spear, turns around, heads back through the doorway.
Ina climbs back down from the roof, having seen Rabbit move between the cars and move away from where Somerset was. She's windswept, but she is alive when she walks in and meets him.
And I think just surrounded by the bodies of the wild hunt.
Surrounded by bodies, not a drop of blood on her.
It's over.
You all right?
I think so. I've got one more thing I need to do, but before I can do that, we should get rid of his body. Someone might come looking for him, and I think I've got a good idea of what we can do with it.
I'm all ears.
With magic once again flowing freely in this space, Rabbit says a few words, makes a subtle gesture with one of his hands, and opens up a portal. Let's take a shortcut back. There's someone I think I need to introduce you to.
Are we taking him with us?
I think so.
Excellent. And Ina goes in, bodily grabs this man, and throws him over her shoulder and follows Rabbit through this portal.
And they walk through a particularly icy section of the Feywild before Rabbit opens up another portal, and they are both in the sculptor's lair.
Well, this is a fun spot. And she chucks this guy down on the ground very unceremoniously, just drops him in a heap.
The sculptor turns and bows to you, Mr. Lloyd, recognizing you as his very gracious benefactor. You've made good on your promise.
Yes, a little gift. I figure someone who held noble titles would make an excellent centerpiece for one of your sculptures.
Yes, he'll do very nicely. And who are you, fair creature?
Allow me to make a proper introduction. I'm growing worried that I might not be able to fulfill the promises I made to you. This is my dear friend, Miss Thanero. She will step in should I not be able to live up to my word.
Ina walks straight up to the sculptor and extends a gloved hand. Charmed, I'm sure.
The sculptor returns your handshake. I look forward to working together.
I look forward to seeing what you create. She walks back over to Somerset and kicks him, and he slides across the ice and lands at the feet of the sculptor.
As Rabbit and Miss Thanero leave the sculptor's lair, and the portal closes behind them, Rabbit turns to her. There's something dark watching over that man, keeping him safe. Don't play his games for too long.
Ina just nods.
Welcome to the dawn.
What a night.
Oh, gosh.
Looks like we made it.
We're all alive.
We did it.
Congratulations! 2 threats resolved!
Yay! We did it.
It's our signature set.
First things first, Mr. Lloyd, you can go ahead and clear on death's door. I think that just resolves naturally now that the coven has been dealt with.
Wonderful.
Got a little ice and the fever broke.
Yeah.
Also, Miss Thanero, you have taken the first step of the Dance of the Nutcracker. I'll go ahead and reread that move. When you take one step of the Dance of the Nutcracker, mark it off and add 1 to your next roll that uses vitality or composure. The steps must be marked in order. Step 1. Narrate a scene in which you prepare the body of a threat for sculpting. I'd say that your scene delivering Professor Somerset's body to the sculptor fulfilled that step, so bear in mind you have a +1 on your next vitality or composure roll. Step 2 of the Dance of the Nutcracker, should any of you choose to do it in the future, requires you to prepare an innocent for sculpting. The first thing we do in the dawn is collect rewards if threats were resolved.
Hooray!
Yay.
Your rewards for Fig's Pigs are as follows. This one's a little interesting given where we last saw it. Obert Fig's butcher knife, add it to your personal quarters. A large baking peel with the shape of a pig carved into it, add it to your personal quarters. A holy symbol of Mock, describe it, and add it to your personal quarters. And then tell the keeper to unmark the mask of the pig. The mask of the pig can now be marked by any hunter again while investigating any threat.
Ooh.
That's fun.
And then a memento from the investigation. Ask another hunter what it is and then add it to your personal quarters. T, your eyes lit up at the holy symbol of Mach.
Yeah, it just feels very narratively.
I do feel that is very for you.
Yeah, very narratively appropriate given what you just got up to. So if there are no objections, we'll go ahead and add that to T's personal quarters. And the mask of the pig is back up for grabs for anyone to use.
What a fun little quirk. I love that.
What was the second thing you described?
So a baking peel, that's like one of those like long, flat wooden things with like a paddle. It's kind of what you see when we're like taking pizzas out of the pizza oven.
Mm-hmm.
That's a baking peel.
Oh, cool.
If there's no objections, I would like Obert's knife, his butcher knife.
Yay, add to the collection.
For my collection of knives.
I like it.
Robert, do you feel particularly attached to the baking peel?
I do not. I barely touched this threat, though, so...
That's true.
Also, both of you can generate a personal quarters item that's not the baking peel, should you choose to.
I would love for someone to detail a personal quarters item for me. Robert, what do you got?
Well, this is a little less literal, and not exactly an item, but how about something like a favor from Rag? Because I feel like you really,
He's my bud.
Yeah, you got to know that kid. You hung out with him.
I love that.
You told him about Hargrave House.
It's true, and that he's like welcome anytime. Okay. That's so perfect. Thank you, guys.
You did invite a child over.
Maisie's befriending all of the children.
I have to. Someone has to take care of them.
Mr. Lloyd, could I interest you in a baking peel, or do you also want someone to generate a personal quarters item for you?
I think I would like someone to generate a personal quarters item for me, if anyone has any ideas.
There's a good old-fashioned jar of marmalade.
I like it. A jar of marmalade.
Lovely. And now for the coven. There are only 2 unique personal quarters items in these rewards. They are a rosary made of tiny animal skulls and finger bones. Add it to your personal quarters. And a book of spells written in Old English. Add it to your personal quarters.
I feel like I'm kind of drawn to the book of spells written in Old English.
I feel like that's very appropriate for you, honestly.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Anyone want an animal rosary?
I think I will take that to go with my desecrated Bible.
I like it.
I'm all about taking things from other religions that don't have anything to do with me.
Mr. Lloyd, who would you like to have define your PQ item?
Cass.
Okay. What did you pull off of Somerset's body?
A saint's medal, specifically a medal of Saint Benedict.
What is Saint Benedict the saint of, out of curiosity?
He is the saint of protection against magic.
I love it. All right, T, who's making your PQ item?
Robert, it feels like yours to bequeath.
You've had a lot of allusions to, like, knights and whatnot. I think it would be fun if one of the pieces of antique armor that the Wild Hunt was wearing made its way back to you. So, a piece of Anglo-Saxon armor.
Let's go to Dawn questions. Did we resolve a threat?
Yes.
Yes.
2.
Did we answer a question?
Yes.
We answered 2.
Yeah.
Did we get an echo in the night?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
I'm just going to say no.
Miss Thanero, what was your echo?
My echo was when Kamal was looking at the goddess statue in the museum, her shield was resting but ready, and then Ina on the train, shield was resting but ready while she was getting ready to murder some people.
Somebody used the phrase weighed down with pearls, and I weighed Patrick down among the pearls.
Lovely.
Beautiful.
Miss Thanero, did you appear in London society wearing risque or avant-garde fashion?
Yes, I wore my cultist ensemble to the museum.
Did you let someone touch you and then make them pay the price for doing so?
Yes, Mr. Hutchinson this morning.
Miss Douglas, did you assert your independence or stand up for yourself?
Yeah, with Lorna.
And did you subtly or not so subtly invoke your oceanic heritage or your love for the sea?
Yeah, very much so.
You kind of basically exclusively did that today in talking to your mom and your sister.
Yep.
Mr. Lloyd, did you have a face-to-face encounter with a dark entity?
I mean, given the definition of a dark entity, maybe. Professor Somerset certainly is a fucked up person. But no, I don't think I really did.
And did you perform a ritual?
Yes, I did, to summon the pixie.
Mr. Hutchinson, did you stick out in London society for all the wrong reasons?
I think so, dragging a man's body from the Thames back to Belgrave Square.
Even Tati Brathwaite pointed out that you were being, very...
Loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And did you use violence to solve a problem?
That's my new forever yes.
Boy, is it. Does anyone level up?
Sure enough.
I do.
What are your advancements?
I will be unmarking all of my personal quarters items.
There we go. It's about time. You were basically down to nothing. Miss Thanero?
I will be unmarking all of the boxes on the reflection.
Oh.
So I will mention that all of the changes that have happened to the reflection stay.
Yes.
You just get to do more of them.
I just get to be way worse.
Yes, and the reflection becomes even more twisted. Well done, Hunters. 2 threats down.
Kim?
Yeah?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but did we not have a holiday party coming?
I do owe you a holiday party, don't I?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yay.
Let's do that next episode.
Shadows in the Smoke is a Kitten Marlowe production. This episode was edited and produced by Kim Dalton and featured a theme song by Jake Pierle. You can find out more about us by visiting kittenmarlowe.com, signing up for our newsletter, or following us on socials. For Discord access, an exclusive behind-the-scenes show, and more, visit patreon.com/kittenmarlowe and join Mel E. and all of our incredible Kitten Marlowe patrons in supporting artist-driven storytelling. Thanks for listening.